Supreme Court has handed over a fine of just 1 rupee, which Mr. Bhushan will have to pay by the 15th of next month. In case if he fails to submit the fine, then there is a sentence of 3 months, and also it is debarred from practice for 3 years. See, these are the judgments which read out in the court. We will have to wait for the detailed judgment for the final details, but Justice Arun Mishra, reading out the judgment, said that court has given several opportunities to Mr. Bhushan to regret, and even AG suggested Mr. Bhushan to withdraw the statement, but Mr. Bhushan gave further publicity to these events. So finally they said judges cannot go to the media to defend themselves, and finally they just awarded just 1 rupee fine. It seems to be a token fine, and of course court has discussed other points also, which we will be seeing it later in the judgment. So the final point is, in the event of default, if he doesn't pay, he may be sent to the prison for 3 months and may be debarred from practicing for 3 years. The final point from the Supreme Court is just 1 rupee fine, and if he doesn't pay, then he will have to be sent to jail for 3 years, and he can't practice for he will be sent to jail for 3 months, and he can't practice for 3 years. So we'll have to see whether Bhushan will pay 1 rupee fine or will stick to his stand that he won't pay. So that's for Mr. Bhushan to decide. But as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, it has found him guilty of contempt of court earlier, and today in the sentencing, of course, there was a little delay. The bench, which basically delivered some constitutional bench judgments, which 5 judges, that's why it took time. So they came around 12:10 or so. So the Justice Mishra read out the judgment saying that we gave so many chances to Mr. Bhushan, and the Attorney General gave advice not only to Mr. Bhushan but to the Supreme Court also. Despite all these advices, Mr. Bhushan was adamant. He went to the media and released his statement in advance, which basically interfered with the judicial function. So we fine him just 1 rupee fine, which he will have to pay before the 15th of September. In case if he is default, if he is not paying, then he will be sent to jail for 3 months and debarred from practicing for 3 years. This is the message from the Supreme Court, Sonat. Go ahead.
Right. Veda, just to reconfirm this for our viewers, at this point, the Supreme Court in their sentencing has said Prashant Bhushan should pay a fine of 1 rupee. If he does not, then what is the tenure of jail and the tenure that the time that he will have to spend out of practice?
Sonal, to be very clear and precise, if he doesn't pay by the 15th of September a fine of 1 rupee, then he will be jailed for 3 months.
Okay.
And he will be debarred from practicing for 3 years. 3 months jail term, also he is debarred from practicing for 3 years.